This is my 2000 Jeep Wrangler Sport. Has the inline 6-cylinder engine, which every Jeep should have, unless you swap over to an LS or diesel swap it. Every other motor is incorrect. It has a 5-speed manual transmission, 373 gears on Dana 30s. It's riding on top of a 6-inch lift with 35-inch tires. And overall, the Jeep ran fine, did fine for years. I've owned it for 11 years. And it did absolutely awesome. Driving through floodwaters, feet of snow, never had an issue, which is why I nicknamed it the Battle Wagon. So if you hear the term Battle Wagon getting thrown around, that means this Jeep, because it has done everything I've asked it to do in the worst weather, the nicest weather. So it is just an absolute machine. But with this absolute machine, it is a rust bucket. As most Jeeps are, especially living in the northeast section of the country where there's salt on the road and brine and all kinds of other stuff, salt water, you expect to get some rust. And my goal in this series is to prevent that rust from ever happening again, or at least delaying the disintegration of this thing for the long term. I'm going to go over everything on this Jeep that has any sort of rust on it, and anything that doesn't have rust on it is getting a go over so that doesn't rust as well. Another problem this Jeep has is the exhaust system. There's a Y pipe that goes in front where the welds are exposed to everything, and the welds disintegrate at some point. And that's what happened to me. As you will hear right now, the hole in the exhaust I have. The interior of this Jeep is surprisingly in awesome shape. Now, I don't know what lies under the carpet, but I will go over that in a minute when I go over my entire plan for this Jeep project, which is going to span 2 seasons, fall, winter, and then more in the spring. So my plan of attack for this Jeep is a 2-stager. In the fall, which is now, I plan on doing the frame, suspension, engine bay, and then in the spring do the interior and exterior, which probably getting a new top, gonna get new half doors because these are a little beat up and they're old and they're expensive, so I'll push that off to the spring. Also gutting the interior, may change the seats, may not, don't know. We'll see where funding is, because obviously the GTO, if you've been following this channel long enough, the GTO is priority number 1. But even with that being priority number 1, I will not cut corners on this thing. So yeah, more into the fall project of this. I'm taking the body off the frame. I'm going to clean the frame up, the suspension, everything. Everything's getting pour 15 or rust encapsulated. I don't know what I'm doing yet. Probably pour 15 though. So everything's coming out. My one fender's got a nice little rust spot in it. Might have to buy a new fender. We'll see. But my plan is to get this thing back on the road for winter time so I can get to work and stuff, because I'm essential personnel, work for a utility company, snowstorms, hurricanes, all that fun stuff happens. So I kind of need it available. As far as the engine goes, I'm taking the engine out. Every gasket is going to get replaced if I take it off. This thing does not leak at all, but I'm cleaning it up, and I'm going to paint the engine, make it all nice. Any small little odds and ends that look like crap, they're getting swapped out. The engine bay is getting entirely painted over, hopefully rust proofed, because Lord knows at 25 years old this thing needs it, and I want to keep it for another 25 years. So I got to do what I got to do. I already did stainless brake lines. Those should be fine, so I'll be taking them out, draining the brake system, and just probably throwing them back in. We'll see what their status looks like, but if they look like shit, I'm swapping it out. Alright guys, let's go for a little ride home and do a little more talking about the Jeep and what I plan on doing with it besides driving to work, because that's no fun. So here we go. Exhaust leak. Yeah. Neighbors love that. The neighbors will probably be happy that this thing is not sitting out in the street anymore, because it'll be in my driveway all taken apart. Like I said, 6-speed manual. I mean 5-speed manual, not 6. But this thing's been very reliable. I think I've had a tensioner pulley break and the little pin that holds your clutch fork in. I've had that break. And it's so annoying because it's like a $5 part and you have to do such a big job to get it out. Now this thing does ride pretty smooth, and as you would expect with 35-inch tires at 6-inch lift, you get a lot of this when you hit like bridge joists or just bumps in the road. Other than that, I can't complain. Now this thing isn't just a mall crawler. I do take it off-roading. I don't go crazy off-roading. I'll go off on trails, I'll blast through puddles, you know, little rocks and shit. Like, I'm not rock crawling. But when I'm feeling froggy and I see a trail, I just dump down it and just get this thing dirty. The 4-wheel drive system, it's what you expect in a Jeep. It doesn't have lockers or anything. I may go to that at some point, but it's probably not going to be anytime soon because, like I said, GTO project has priority. A lot of money is going into that with the transmission and the rear. So if you've been following that, it's coming. That's just going to be in the spring, summertime, as well as some track days. But anyway, back to the Jeep. This thing was just so fun to drive. I would take the top off for the summer and just cruise around. I had a cover for it, go down to the beach and just have tons of fun with it down there. That hole in the exhaust has pretty much been preventing me from driving this thing. I don't know how well it comes up on here, but it's kind of loud. But this thing's just a blast to drive. The thing that sucks is you can't go over 70 miles an hour with these big tires on it, and the gear ratio, if you do, you're taking your life in your own hands. It wants to like kind of float and skate at that point. So 70 miles an hour is about as fast as you want to go in this thing. But yeah, I can't wait to get this thing back on the road and being awesome, as I have people walking their kids give me the stare because of how obnoxious this thing sounds. I don't think the camera picks it up, just like the drone in the GTO. That's just unbearable at certain points. But at the same time, it's kind of a performance car, so it's going to be loud. But yeah, my plan is to get this thing back on the road, hopefully as quick as possible. I may have to get a custom exhaust for the exhaust leak because I used to order the Y pipe for the exhaust off of Morris 4x4. It doesn't seem like they're in business anymore, so I'm probably gonna have to go to custom route on that, which is no big deal. Hopefully it's no big deal, but we will see. As I approach my house and I annoy my neighbors. It's a Friday, they should be at work, fuckers. But yeah, if you've never driven a Jeep, it's like a double-edged sword. It's like driving a brick down the road, but it's just so fun doing Jeep shit. You know, driving off-road, driving on-road, doing your little Jeep waves to people, which I don't care. But I do it anyway, and randomly getting little duckies. So that's all cool and fun. So I just did a little drive back home. This thing's been running like shit since the hole in the exhaust, so I didn't want to go terribly far as I went to a park to record this because my street gets kind of busy. Try not to hit the girlfriend's car. But yeah, I can't wait to have this thing back in the driveway and off the street. So try not to hit the girlfriend's car. That's good enough. Let's not piss off the neighbors. But yeah, I have grand plans for this thing, and I just can't wait to. I can't wait to get started. First of all, because I've been busy with work, and also I had to dodge hurricanes and strong storms that roll through because the body's just sitting on some jack stands, like with no frame or engine or anything to hold it down. That's kind of sketch. So that kind of is what it is. But I'm going to try and knock this out as quick as possible. Now, as far as the video series goes on this, I'm going to try and post once to twice a week and do like 8 to 10 minute videos, just pump them out. And then hopefully when this thing's done, we can have some fun with it, go off-roading, do some, if there's a snowstorm, hopefully there isn't by then. That'd be bad because it's September. So yeah, thanks for watching. Hope you follow the series. Like, comment, subscribe. Give me some advice along the way. Because like I said, I've done this before and it didn't last. And I think it's because my prep was a little sketch. But anyway, see you in the next one.